So this project is executed for smart buy kind of stores. Okay, so it's a smart buy store, and the project is called as shelf automated replenishment. Okay, this is system design specifications, and version is 1. So we are going to start it with, okay, some purpose and all. Okay, so let's start the document. So introduction. So purpose of this document is document explains system design specifications for shelf automated replenishment. That is SAR, shelf automated replenishment, not store, shelf automated replenishment project. So SAR, that is SAR, is important tool to remove manual overload of store manager to keep track of high velocity SKU. It also automated purchase order creation. Approval process is held for store manager approval. So what does that sentence mean? I'll tell you what exactly it is. So now just imagine that, or just think about a retail store. What happens generally in retail store? We have goods. Okay, goods are getting sold. So now we have a retail store here which has, let's say, some kind of goods. Okay, so we will actually think about Apple laptop. Okay, so MacBooks. So these are MacBook boxes. Okay, and the store manager knows that, or store program knows that weekly it can sell 2 MacBook boxes. Good with that. And if I don't have sufficient quantity here, so I should have quantities for next 3 weeks. Okay, we'll see the rules, what exactly rules are. So I should have quantities for next 3 weeks. So that means 2 are on shelf. Okay, and 3 weeks, that means 3 into 2 should be in my like store. Okay, the store has its own space. Okay, sometimes, so in based by you see that just below the boxes, okay, we have one more set of boxes. Okay, so they do not have anything called storage. Okay, where they will keep it, they'll keep it there itself. So 6 should be there in your storage and 2 should be there on your shelf. Okay, that means total quantity should be 8. Correct. So if this is 8, well and good. If it is not, okay, if it is not, then you are going to order them from the vendor. Okay, so vendor. Now the condition is vendor has his own condition. Okay, vendor has his own rule set. Okay, when to order and when not to order. Okay, so we'll see that now. So this document, okay, we'll see the definitions now. System design specification for shelf. Okay, this is the quantity. Automated. Okay, replenishment means ordering from the vendor and make it available on the store. This is called as replenishment. Okay, so see, SAR is an important tool to remove manual overload of a store manager. So store manager, now there is manual overload for store manager to look for all the shelves, to calculate the quantities. Okay, on that it has to he has to generate a purchase order that I need new quantities from vendor. That is called as purchase order. Okay, so now our program, the program which you gonna create, will automatically do that for us. Good with that. So keep track of what? Keep track of high velocity SKU. High velocity SKU, what does that mean? So SKU is a short form of stock keeping unit. So stock keeping unit is a unique identity of every item in the store. Okay. So SKU is nothing but a primary key for everything. So your MacBook has a unique identity. Your keyboard has a unique key. Okay. So everything has a unique key in there. Okay. But all MacBooks will have same SKU ID. Okay. SKU number. Good with that. So now it automates the purchase order creation. So it will actually check like how many SKUs are available, and according to the rule set, we'll see the rule set, it will actually create a purchase order. But approval process of that purchase order is actually with the store manager. So you are not going to automatically push that purchase order. You will just create it and then store manager has to approve it whether it's correct or not, because manual effort is needed. Okay, although the quantity creation, which was a huge effort, was reduced. Okay, so now any questions up to this point? So skew is considered as a high velocity. So when you call a particular skew as high velocity for a particular market, when skew gets sold 10% of its ordered quantity in average day. So if you have 10, okay, on the in store storage, okay, and you are selling one, okay, or you are selling two, then basically it's a high velocity skew. Okay, so velocity of a skew is calculated like if you are selling more than 10%, then it's called as high velocity without considering sell event and emergencies. Okay, okay, remember that the skew is considered high velocity for a particular market. So every skew is dependent on market, correct? So that means if you are living in Nevada, you will not be selling fishing rods, correct? You got my point, right? So if you are in Chicago, you can sell this salt bags for ice, correct? But you will not be able to sell that in Florida. So every SKU has a dependent on the market, correct? And at that market, that particular velocity changes, right? That's how it is. So now intended audience for, so this is the paragraph which is most important, tells you what exact purpose of this particular document. Okay, so in your user story, this kind of thing is generally called as a problem statement or user statement. Okay, and now intended audience, okay, this part may be missing in your user story sometimes. Okay, but it's okay to have it, like who is target audience. Okay, so from where you have to get user acceptance testing approval. So store managers, stakeholders, purchase order creation team, supply vendors, and system development and support team. So all of them should actually approve after your project is complete. Okay, I'm telling you a real life cycle of the project. Okay, so now moving ahead, scope. So what are the scopes of the document? So SAR is automation of existing manual process, helping store manager for faster and accurate result. SAR will be out of scope in case of sales events and emergency events. What is sales event? Like Thanksgiving just happened, okay, Christmas, okay, or emergency like there is a flood call or there is a tornado warning in Florida or something. Okay, so these warnings are, these things are different. Okay, so in tornado warning and all, people used to buy like a lot of things. So for us, okay, I mean I was in Home Depot, now I'm not. So I was in Home Depot. Emergencies like a tornado or flood events and all those, it's like a huge pressure on us. Okay, and you know what they do? They do not rise the price. This is amazing thing about Home Depot. I'll tell you. I don't know whether you know it or not. In our policies, in their guidelines, emergency event should not be considered as a sales event, and you should not raise the price. Okay, so that means, so I definitely know that in emergency events there are a lot of breakages and lot of things gonna broke. Okay, Home Depot will sell anything at any price. Okay, so do Lowe's, but none of them will raise the price. Okay, so it's, that is entire customer centric activity. Isn't that true? Otherwise, they would have sell it at any prices. Same thing happens with Walmart. So even in tornado warnings, people try to gather a lot of food with our home basement and something. They do not raise the price. Okay, that is against the rules of retail industry. Good with that. Okay, cool. Sales event though, yes, you can do whatever you want. You can raise the price, lower the price. Okay, this is festival. This is not a festival. This is emergency. Correct? Awesome. So whatever it takes, but in this situation, these are not applicable because we have another project to do, which is called as event management and emergency management. Okay, so there are two different projects, okay, which we will do later. It is called event management and emergency management, like how do we manage the events, okay, and how do we calculate sales forecast according to the last year's event. And emergency management, like we actually try to find out the similar emergency in past and try to fetch in what are the details we need or what are the items we need in the store. Okay, so this is emergency management and event management. That's not applicable to normal SKU purchase orders. Obviously, isn't that true? Okay, authentication of the user and store manager is out of scope. So that is considered by store itself. Okay, so store has its own authentication level. You don't have to worry about it. Good with that? Any questions up to this point? Are you getting a grasp of real project? Are you getting an understanding of a real project? Like how detailed we go? Cool with that? So now general overview, now how we are going to create it. So now this particular project consists of two important things. Two important things. One is there is something called order creation batch. So this is a batch program. We have to do that in core Java or Spring batch. Okay, so as of now there is no Spring. We're gonna convert that into Spring after some time. Okay, when we will learn it. Good with that. So now first is SAR order creation batch, or also people call it as OCB. Okay, so SAR OCB is a Java batch scheduled on cron. Okay, I will tell you how to schedule it on Windows. Okay, OCB calculates order quantities for very SKU for a store. So that every store, every SKU of a store. So now that means this particular batch will be fetching the data from the store table, okay, SKU table, and try to find out the quantities, okay, and generates the order quantity, how much quantity needs to be ordered. Okay, now we're gonna see the rules of that. Okay, so service in short, so there are services we're gonna write, so we will see that later. Okay, so technical requirements of OCB. So there are three tables: mer SKU, also called as merchandising SKU. Okay, SAR param. So there are constant parameters we need to look at, and there is SKU and store. So these are the tables we should look at. I will give you the table details. Okay. Now there is a SAR order creation batch which will actually fetch the data from here, and the output will be stored in SAR PO, POM vendor, and SAR delivery. Okay, so these three are tables which we gonna publish. Okay, so SAR PO, that is SAR PO, so purchase order M vendor, merchandising vendor. Okay, they will not call as vendor, it's merchandising vendor, and delivery, SAR delivery. Okay, so these three tables will be published by SAR order creation batch. So this is your input output flow. Good with that. Now rules. Now this is what you're gonna code. So the first one, order creation batch. What exactly you need to do? So order creation batch is a standalone Java batch. Okay, statement number true, all clear. Now we're gonna go detail in all these steps and try to understand whether you understood it or not. OCB runs on store. Okay, so every store, if you have 2000 stores, every store will have that. Okay, we do have more. So this one is Best Buy project. Okay, by the way, Smart Buy is nothing but Best Buy. So Best Buy, and we have 2800 something stores. So every store will have OCB and it runs on. I'm talking really. Okay, we just replicated the database, we just reduced the size of the database, we reduced some rules, but then the gist of the project remains the same. So this is real thing which actually works. Now OCB runs on store, so it will always run on a single store. So you don't have to worry about store number because you are running on the store itself. Okay, clear with that? OCB reads SKU store table, okay, and get the SKUs of a particular store. So you are going to get like a SKUs from the store table. So you will select star from SKU underscore store, uh, where store number equals to and whatever store number you are running on. Okay. For all SKUs, SAR param table has a SKU shelf unit value and storage unit value will be read and compared. So now for every SKU we'll have shelf unit value and storage unit value. You have entire table structure. I'll show you. DB understanding. It's a video. I'll show you that. It will be given to you. So this one. So this diagram I'll share with you. It's in Google Drive. I'll open this diagram. Icebreaker salt. Okay, so that's salt bags. One sec. I have it somewhere. Supply chain. Okay, anyway, where is that DV? Let me grab it from Google Drive itself. Oh man, sorry about that. I'm not sure why exactly this thing is not working. Yeah, here you go. I thought I have it. Anyway, I'll download that with me and keep it with me. So download this one. This one and this one. Java project supply chain, paste it here. Okay, so here you go. So I have this retail data model PNG data model and the SQL dump. So the all data also is there. Cool. So just open this. This is how it works. So now you are going to read this table, SKU store table. Okay, pass the store number and you will get SKU number, all the SKU numbers, velocity, truck delivery time in days, shelf quantity, in-store quantity. So you don't have to worry about truck delivery time. You have to worry about shelf quantity and in-store quantity. Correct? Okay. Come back here, read that. OCB reads SKU store table to get SKUs for a particular store. Correct? You get all the SKUs for a particular store. Now you what you're gonna do? For all SKUs, SAR parameter has SKU shelf unit value and storage unit value will be read and compared. So I don't think you have to go to SAR param table. SAR parameter has recommended threshold. Okay, so this line has to be changed. Okay, so you have shelf quantity and in-store quantity right here, so you can compare it here itself. Okay, so this line doesn't apply, but so the table doesn't apply, so this table is not needed. You are going to compare it from here itself. Okay, now the rule starts. If the count is lower than SKU recommended threshold, okay, value, then SKU will be categorized for PO creation. Where is SKU recommended threshold? Here in SAR param. So for all those SKUs, you also need SKU recommended threshold. This is in this table. Okay, how do you fetch it? Your trouble. I'm not going to guide you on that. Okay, so you will just find it out. Now what are you doing? You are actually comparing. Okay, first what you did, you compared like SKU, what actual value on the shelf and storage unit value, and you compare that. If it is lower than SKU recommended threshold, then the SKU will be categorized for PO creation. So that SKU is for PO creation. Now number of units to be ordered will be calculated by velocity of SKU, okay, into number of days for truck delivered to it. Okay, so it is SKU store, velocity, and SAR parameter truck delivery in days. Okay, so it has truck delivery factor. Okay, truck deliveries in days. Okay, here itself. So you have SKU velocity and truck delivery in days. So both are here itself. Okay, you don't have to go in this table. So now these two has to be multiplied. Okay, and then calculate what? The order quantity. Good with that? That's rule number 3. Now number of units should be multiple of pack size. Now I'll tell you what I exactly think this is. So now one thing. Suppose your SKU is imagine a Coca-Cola bottle. Okay, Coca-Cola, the can. Okay, so now let's say your SKU velocity is you're selling let's say 300 bottles per day, 300 cans per day. Possible, correct? Now your truck delivery days is let's say 7 days. Okay, so what you get 2100, right? Now your can comes in size of 12, correct? Your can comes in size of 12 or 6, right? So now trouble is it divisible 2112? And if it is not, let's say you have calculated that and it came like, okay, let me come back to a calculator. I don't know if it is divisible or not, but let's see. So 2100 divided by 12, 175. It is divisible, that's fine. So now you can actually order 175 dozens of these cans. Okay, but suppose this is not divisible. Suppose you got the value, or this value came as 2175, something like this. I don't know why, but it came like that. Okay, then how do you divide that? It's not possible, right? So now what you have to do is you have to say 21. So cancel this. 2175 divided by 12 and 181.25. Is it possible? No, it's not possible. So that means you can only order in the terms of pack size, because packing size is 12, correct? Now you have to change, you have to adjust this value in upward scale, okay, not downward scale, in upward. So you cannot change it to 180, that's not good. You have to actually increase it so that you adjust to pack size, and pack size is 12, correct? So now adjust that. Now number of units should be multiple of pack size, because my packing size will not be reduced or adjusted for me. It is something given by vendor. Good with that? Okay. Okay, so come back to the Apple example. Now number of units should be greater than vendor minimum quantity. So now whatever calculated, let's say your order quantity was, so your SKU velocity is 10, okay, and truck delivery time is 2, okay. So you want to order 20 laptops, okay. Now 20 laptops only, but my vendor says that okay, you cannot order something less than 40, and you are placing an order of 20. Will vendor accept that? No, vendor will not accept it. Vendor says no, I cannot do that. My entire biggest box which can fit into my truck is 40, so you have to order 40 only. So now you have to compare these things also. So first thing you will do is you will actually check pack size. The pack size of a laptop is 10. Okay, so 20 is multiple of 10. I am good with this. Okay, but vendor says that my minimum quantity order is 40, so you cannot order 20, you have to jump to 40. Okay, so this adjustment is your next adjustment, that is called vendor minimum quantities. Updated SKU number order. So these are the two rules you have to apply. Now updated results, SKU number, order unit will be populated in SAR PO table for PO creation. And after this, email will be sent to store manager once OCB completes. So now here I want you to actually Google and try to learn about Java mailing API. If you face any issues, I will help you. Okay, but this is Java mailing API. Okay, mail jar. So very easy code, is 5 lines of code, but it's important. Okay, so this is actual batch project you want to complete. So now these are the step-by-step process you have to follow. I will be giving you all the details needed for that. So the details are like your retail data model, okay, your data model query, good with that. So this query you have to execute on your MySQL DB. Okay, this will actually generate all the things including schema for you. Good. Then UI part will be later. As of now, we're going to learn about this part. Okay. Supply chain videos are already available. Like what are the supply chain videos? Okay, UI understanding, don't go there. Good with that. So, and just try to complete the batch code. Okay. So now, good thing about this, we do have a sample code ready, but I really don't want to share that today. I want to share it with you when you complete that. Now, what's the deadline of this assignment? So this, the deadline of assignment is next Saturday. So up to next Saturday, you have to complete your OCB. Then I will tell you, and next Saturday I'll tell you about UI part, so that you will be focusing on the UI part as well. Good with that. So these all documentations will be shared with you. Okay, including your, hold on, including the data model data and your SDS document plus supply chain videos. Okay, so what is supply chain, how it works? So what are the definitions I told you in brief? These definitions are discussed in detail here. Okay, in supply chain introduction. And there is a PDF I have given how to proceed. So once you are done with the first part of it, once you deploy, although you are actually free to use anything, providers of different goods, right? The box. So this is actually given to you. Don't worry about that. And one more thing, I will be giving you real, not this one, something called supply chain PDF, and that has amazing details about your supply chain. If you read through it, it will be a guidance to, hold on, this one. That's a UI. Third thing, OCV. Below that, you should and you have populated. Store manager has already. This is UI. So that's a different story. Of course, UI components. UI. This will be with you, so you can actually go through it. But I will tell you not to do that unless you complete batch. So once the batch is complete, only then please proceed with the next one. Good with that. And I will give you one more PDF for supply chain to understand what exactly supply chain really means. Okay. And I do have that, but how to just search it? So there are a lot of projects I have here. So these are my students who actually completed this project. Okay, after they got the job, just for the sake of doing something, they did that. Anyway, agile development. So this one I will also share with you, but that is later. Okay, so these are awesome videos we have. Like I have UI sessions also by Vijay. Vijay is one of the trainers which used to work with me. He gave jQuery and HTML introduction. HTML I already gave you. This is jQuery sessions. Okay, we'll learn about this. Okay, so I don't want to bombard everything on you just on a day one, but I want you to start with OCB today. Okay, so now the project creation should be your order creation batch. The project name should be order creation batch created in the GitHub. I will not accept zip files. I will not accept var files. I'm not going to look into it. Only GitHub links. So in GitHub with a standard project structure like this. So I need a package structure from you. I need all the coding standards, proper exceptions, user creativity. User creativity. Like you should be having a proper like order not found exception, or probably skew not found, whatever it is. So it should be a logical. Okay, your exception should be logical. So all those things are fine. Okay, you should have your JDBC classes properly separated. You have util classes to have connectivity and all those things. Okay, so bubbling of exception. So that all things we are not going to take this project in sessions. It is for you. You complete that, and I will take one-on-one only after you complete. Okay, not before that, not after that. Okay, if you face difficulties, send a screenshot like this is where I am stuck, let me know. Okay, I will help you in all aspects, but one-to-one session will be taken after you have tried something. Okay, without trial I will not take one-to-one. This is very important about this project. This is very important because this commitment gonna help you. Okay, so important for you. Cool. So complete this. Let me know this is what all this entire journey is about. Then we're gonna actually convert this OCB into a service-based project. We'll write web services on it, which is RESTful web services. We're gonna change our UI with Angular, HTML, all that awesome things. Okay, with the JQ grid and everything. So this is where and by the way, okay, and best thing is you can write this project in Resume. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? You can write this because this is a real project worked on a real industry. Okay, so if you complete this, you have a real IT experience, and you can write that and you can explain that. Okay, so if you will be able to explain this project properly in your interview, basically you crack the interview. Getting my point? So this is a latest project you worked on. Okay, your GitHub should have this. Okay, so now your all knowledge, all things which you are going to learn will be implemented in this particular project. So your JNDI, your Log4j, I will tell you to implement Log4j in this project only. Okay, I will tell you to implement JNDI here. I will tell you to use Hibernate here. Okay, so this project will be updated as you proceed. But you have to complete it by Saturday. Okay, at least batch, and then I'll tell you to implement services and Hibernate. Okay, the changes should be appear on SAR PO. Yes, you will have this as PO number, purchase order, SKU number, and store number. By the way, the latest PO number is here. Okay, you have to get latest PO number from here. So last PO number, you read it from here, put it here, and then this one should be updated with the next one. So if it is 49 here, then 50 will be here, and it will be updated with the latest one. So this is how it works. Okay, that's why this is independent thing, PO number. It is not auto increment here. Okay, please remember. So go through the database, go through the stuff, and let me know if you face any difficulties. I'm going to share all the details with you. You can start now. Okay, so we'll stop here, and I have recorded this session also if it is helpful, and I will send it to you. Okay, so thanks a lot everyone. This is what it is for Sunday, and let's start with the actual stuff. Cool with that? Any open questions? Anything? I'll be sharing all these things to you. Okay. Yes, go ahead, Ashwin. What is your question? I always share with H2K Infosys. If you see missing video, these are the guys you have to write to, not me. Okay, please write. All people will do that. Okay, please write to them. They will be uploading. I don't have any rights on uploading server. Previously, I used to share everything by Google Docs, so that I have control. But now, see here, this is basically a student's name. I shared with one to one with her. But nowadays, they have their own servers where everything is uploaded. So I don't have any control on that, frankly. So now my task is to give them videos, and they will actually do it. Okay. So please follow up with them. That's the only thing I can suggest you. Okay. So let's stop here, and this thing will be shared with you in a few minutes. Okay. This may not be a part of your upload link. Okay. Okay. If you have any questions, first put it in the Telegram channel. There is a huge community which will help you. This session, these things are basically for discussions. Okay. So please put it on a Telegram channel where we will discuss. So n number of people who can answer your queries. Okay. Okay. So let's stop here, and let's continue tomorrow with our normal Java flow. Probably we'll start Hibernate first. Okay, then we can convert that into a RESTful app services, or we'll do reverse. We'll start RESTful and then Hibernate. So we'll decide tomorrow. Okay. So let's stop here. Continue tomorrow. Thanks a lot, everyone. Good night.